The future of finance. FinTech versus DeFi. At the time, finance has improved a lot thanks to technology. There are some new models that offer people many more benefits than the traditional finance. Companies are innovating and looking for better ways to connect with users. The current financial system is improving traditional finance, or is it replacing it? To know what I'm talking about, we need to know the evolution of finance through the time. On the one hand, we have the well-known traditional finance, which is about paper money and banking. More than a century ago, the only way to pay for things was with traditional paper money. Then finance went through a radical transformation for its time, where banks emerged and allowed people to have a safe place to keep their funds, and also provided facilities for commercial transactions, among some other benefits. And then we have the modern finance, which brought to life the fintech innovation and the future of finance, DeFi. In this presentation, we are going to talk deeply about fintech and DeFi. So let's start by knowing what each one is. Fintech is short for finance technology, and it's a catch-all term for any technology, all of those products and business models used to augment, streamline, digitize, or disrupt the traditional financial sector. It can be apps or platforms for both mobile phones and computers that bring services closer to the user, those like transferring money, paying bills, or even donating to a crowdfunding campaign. Basically, it's a financial app or platform that has a company behind it. Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, Alipay, KakaoBank, TransferWise, and Kickstarter are some famous examples of fintech. Does any of them sound familiar? You may have used one at some time. This technology makes a lot more easier to use financial services. Then we have DeFi, which goes for decentralized finance, which are aimed at developing an independent financial system. That means no company behind it. This type of platforms allows people to carry out endless operations through the exchange of digital money quickly and safely. DeFi services use cryptocurrencies and smart contracts to recreate traditional financial instruments and generate new ones. Built on a blockchain platforms, these decentralized apps are borderless, immutable, and permissionless, with no intermediaries and open source. Kyber Network, Compound, FutureSwap, and Etherisk are some examples of DeFi apps. So knowing this, we can say that DeFi was born from the implementation of fintech on blockchain platforms without any type of regulation. Now let's see the main differences between each. As we have seen before, while fintech is all of those companies that use new technologies to improve traditional banking and provide centralized financial support, DeFi is a financial tool that allows the development of decentralized applications. Fintech needs to follow the institutional laws issued by government entities, while DeFi do not need to follow any law that may stop its expansion. Fintech uses a centralized software and needs a license to use it, while DeFi uses blockchain and is open source. And finally, fintech gives a joint support to make financial operation, while DeFi allows direct interaction between those who are going to do the financial exchange. So, which one is better? Does they need each other? We're on the way to the future of finance, but there are still a lot of things to think of and some problems to solve. New companies are trying to disrupt the market, but fintech is unable to disrupt this infrastructure. And all of this because it still has to follow the rules. The progress that can be made by a single company is limited to the extent that our financial system is regulated and interconnected, while decentralized finance is offering users control of their assets. This can be done by the elimination of the interference of intermediaries, and because of the decentralization and blockchain technology, DeFi is able to give the full control and power over the assets to the user. Therefore, we can say that fintech needs DeFi, because there is 1.7 billion unbanked people, high fees and actual transaction cost, there is a limited access to capital, financial crisis, 0% interest rate, and slow transfers. What seems to be processed instantly, it can take days to be fully processed. So we need something better. And this is when DeFi came in, because this technology is more efficient as all operations are processed almost immediately. It's also fair and open as anyone can contribute. and transparent because of blockchain. But the main problem of DeFi is the usability. It is not about using FinTech because it's better. It's because people do not know how to move to DeFi or they are afraid of. DeFi is still a nascent space with various risks.